Hey Academy students, Ian here. We're between clinic days. I want to share a quick story with you from our clinic yesterday. It was a singles strategy clinic. Actually, this was 2 days ago. It's all kind of starting to run together for me now. So one of our drills was an alley rally. We were working on directing ground strokes, being able to hit cross court versus down the line versus inside out. And so we were hitting down the alley, forehand to forehand, to work on forehand direction, consistency, and timing, being able to direct the ball where we want the ball to go. And we got together in between rallies, and we were talking about different elements related to ground stroke control. And I asked our students, what percentage of your shots during the rallies that we just hit do you think you successfully made in the alley? The alley, by the way, is 4.5 feet wide. So for most players, like hearing 4.5 feet, that sounds like a pretty big target, right? And so one of our students immediately said, about 60%. And I knew for a fact that was way too high. I didn't call him out like on the spot, but I was like, I think maybe you want to kind of reevaluate that. It's a much harder target to hit than what maybe you think. Now keep in mind, he had just done the drill. Now, we went back, we did more, and Ira, without telling the student, actually kept track. Ira rallied with that same student on the next rotation, and that student hit 50 forehands. Ira says a little more than 50, but around 50. And out of those 50 shots, that student made 7 of them in the alley. He didn't tell him that he was going to be testing him, but he just kept track in his head. So his actual percentage was 14%. And he thought he was in the ballpark of 60%. So what this illustrates to me just really well is that there's a disconnect for us between our perception of what we're doing and reality. This happens all the time with technique. It happens with patterns of play. It happens with strategy selections, what we think is working, what we don't think is working. And a lot of times what's actually happening is not even close to what we think is happening. So how do we get away from this trap of having kind of an alternate reality in our minds? Well, the best way is 2 things. Number 1, video. Use video as often as possible. This is just such a reoccurring theme for me over and over. Record yourself and watch it. If you are serious about getting better, then just do it. Trust me. It's worth a little bit of discomfort that it brings. And then secondly, frequently set up challenges for yourself. Have a specific target. Have a specific outcome goal that you're trying to achieve. And then test yourself. Don't just hit shots. Please, don't just hit balls. Don't just go out there and just rally with no purpose, no target, no intention, no outcome that you're trying to achieve. And video yourself. If you do both of those things, then your awareness of what is really happening on the court will be so much more full, and then you'll know what to work on instead of fooling yourself into thinking you're doing a great job, which quite frankly is what most tennis players are doing. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of perspective and is helpful. Keep up the great work out there. I'm proud of all of you guys.